Hello, Crossway Church. My name is Alfred Kuntz, and I'm here today to give my testimony of how God has saved me from a life of sin and alcohol. I was born in Astoria, Queens, New York in the 50s, and I was raised in a non-Christian home where drinking was apparent and violence and anger were always around me. Around 10 years old, I had my first drink. And that was because I would be sent to go get the drinks for my family members. They would be asked to go mix this and go mix that. And I'd be off to the side and no one saw me. So I would take a sip, and it started then. I started to like it. And then through my teenage years, I would drink more, go to parties at our neighborhood, and I would just enjoy it. And around this time too, I started my first band, and I was the drummer and lead singer. I enjoyed it very much, and I liked the attention, and also I liked the fact that we would do garden parties. And at those parties, there'd be drinking. Only the band was allowed to touch it. So I started to feel privileged, but also, unbeknownst to me, the drinking was starting to make a different mood in me. Around 19, I went in the Navy. But after a year in the Navy, it became aware that my drinking was starting to pick up even then. It wasn't as simple a couple of beers or a couple of drinks. I would drink till I just about passed out. So after the Navy, just prior to leaving, I met my wife back in New York, and we were married in 1974. My wife noticed my drinking wasn't normal. I didn't drink normally like most other people in her family. And she started to question me about it. At that time, my drinking was everything. But I didn't realize it had taken over my life. And my wife just threatened to leave me. And of course, the drinking just numbed everything, so I didn't care. I really didn't pay any attention and thought she was kidding around. In 1993, Marlene had put me out legally. We were separated. Again, I didn't think she would do it, and when she did, I was totally shocked. So I was on my own for a while, and I went back to meetings, and I was getting myself sober. And then Marlena and I had a meeting through a counselor who then recommended that we try to work things out. We did, and so I was sober again, going to meetings, but then I just got that thought again. I'm good now. I can do this. So I tried once again to drink with control. By 1996, probably the worst year of my life, now I got involved with drugs as well as drinking. At the time, I'd be going to church with my wife just to please her, but I really wasn't concerned about God, or it didn't matter to me. But I came to the church because I was always involved in music. And she used that as the hook. She said, you gotta come. You would love the music, the choir, the band. And I said, all right, just to make her happy. But as soon as I came, I really fell in love with the choir, the orchestra, just all the music, because I felt like I was home. But all along, I still drank. So around 2006, while I was doing maintenance, a new supervisor came aboard, a good old boy who really liked his drink. So he set up a spare storage room, set up a table of liquor, which I knew when I walked in the room and saw it, I was going to be in trouble. I knew I couldn't do this. I finally had enough. I got on my golf cart, I was driving around, and I was praying to God. God, whatever you have to do it. Please do it. And 2 days later, I was fired because my boss and I went out and got drunk. I had never been fired from a job. I had no money. I had nothing to offer for Christmas. I went back to the rooms at that time of AA. I have been sober ever since, and that was December 18th, 2006.
Well, as his wife, I was praying for him. And God's word says to pray unceasingly. And I prayed for a long time. It was 38 years. But when you consider someone's eternal soul, it really isn't that long. Eventually, my prayer became more specific, and I began to ask God that not only would he get him sober, but would he surround him with godly men. He got a job at Atlantic Shores, now called Crossway, so he was surrounded by pastors. So I had no doubt that this was all because of God.
So I want to say that if you're struggling or you have an addicted person in your family, there is hope. There is hope. But you just have to want it. But there is plenty of help here in Crossway. You'll find pastors, you'll find counselors, you will find the elders and deacons quickly ready to help you. If you see me and you feel you'd like to talk to me, feel free. I'm more than happy to share with you and help you find a way and a solution through God's Word.